Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 17 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm talking loud this episode. This is your host, Jamal. With me is my co-host, Reeves.
Too loud.
Am I peaking?
Yeah, look at your bar.
Oh, my levels are beautiful.
No,
Reeves, say hello.
Looks like me.
Hey, yo.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Sultry.
Really
like
respectful. That was super respectful. I really
And
appreciate you doing that.
The person who's talking too much out of turn is Brian. He's also here. We have a special episode. We have a guest. It's our first guest. You know how we do.
Of the
On
season.
a live season, we're reviewing a live season. We have guests, and this keeps, user engagement up and people clicking on the podcast who otherwise wouldn't. We have a guest. He's an artist. He has his own podcast called. He's one of the hosts of the One Piece podcast. He's a Top Chef super fan, and by the end of this episode, you're gonna be like, sounds like he's a super fan of this podcast too. So let's welcome Alex Kazanas, aka A to the K double A Z.
A-Kaz. Hi. Howdy.
What's up?
What's up? I don't know, man. It's Saturday. I woke up like 2 hours ago.
Nice.
Solid 9 a.m. Decent time to wake up.
Hey, it's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
These are the days where I like to.
You're sitting.
I'm sitting. I'm not laying on my bed. I could take my rig to my bed and do it Jabba the Hutt style, but I want to feel like I want to be.
Brian
has questions because we just did Star Wars stuff, and Brian doesn't get what we just did. So
my question is, I always take my rig to the bed. It goes with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, my rig.
And I guess he's talking about officer rigs, which is what he named his penis.
Officer Riggs? Who's that? Oh, my
Lethal
Weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Riggs.
I call mine Murtaugh.
That's good.
But only
And
when I'm
Reeves?
on the toilet.
I call mine Joe Pesci.
Okay. And Alex.
Oh, do I call my what?
Your rig.
Oh, my rig.
Uh-huh.
I call my rig. Actually, my rig does have a name. It's Solomon.
Oh, like the guy from the Bible with all those wives.
No, it's another anime reference.
Okay.
Okay, and we're getting into it early.
Let's-
So
yeah,
we're
let's-
getting into it early.
Yeah.
It's an anime reference, and that's because he hosts the One Piece podcast.
Yeah.
Tell us about the One Piece podcast.
One Piece. One Piece is it's the longest running manga series in Japan. It's the best selling manga series in Japan. I believe it outsold Harry Potter in Japan, which is absolutely crazy. Yep.
Take that, JK.
Yeah. And you know what? The creator's not a TERF, so.
Oh yeah.
As far as we know.
No one would know. He's very secretive.
It's true, yeah. So, One Piece is huge over there. It's a comic, it's a cartoon, it's a breakfast cereal, it's a T-shirt. But me and my three other co-hosts, we've been doing this podcast for about over a decade, and we've talked to various people who worked on the series. Yeah,
That's so long.
Really long time.
Over a decade.
So I knew as soon as you said over a decade, Brian's brain was like, "What is that dedication? Why would you dedicate yourself to something like that for that long?" He can't
Podcast
fathom
just
that.
started like a year ago. That's why I heard about them like a year ago.
Yeah, we've been doing podcasts since they were on iPods.
Oh, remember those?
Hold on. Can we pause for the laughter for everyone who's listening? Let them laugh and then keep going.
Oh,
We don't
great.
usually do this.
All right.
Hey,
No, but
Well,
I
he
think
said
it's
a
good.
very good joke, so I wanted to give it space to breathe.
jeez, come on. So,
I have a lot of questions.
please, Reeves, hit
Um,
me.
I guess I'll table the stuff on One Piece for later because I'm still confused on that. But you've done podcasts for over 10 years.
Yeah.
How do you keep it fresh and light? If
How-
after a couple of years you feel like maybe you're hitting a wall and you're questioning why you're doing it. So I guess in your experience, since you've had successful podcasts, how do you have a successful podcast?
Well, you keep doing offshoot podcasts that talk about other stuff to keep everything keep the juices going. We've had other podcasts on and off in concurrent with the main one, but really it's just in all honesty, it's because we like hanging out with each other and
Okay.
talking about the thing we like.
Now, I have a question. Would you say that you guys love each other?
Mhm.
Yeah, we do.
Still?
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's an issue. We're not
Okay.
allowed to do that on this podcast.
You're not allowed to
Yeah.
love.
Tom
No.
told us specifically don't fall in love with each other.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is he like is he Yoda of the Jedi Council telling you not to fall in love?
And
Kind
right
of.
back to
Because,
Star Wars. We're there.
because,
Right.
Yeah, Top Chef podcast hosts aren't allowed to have attachment. Is that
Basically, he
Yeah.
said fall in love, you shall not.
wow?
Mhm.
Jeez, Tom. Tom seems like a very complicated person.
He is.
He
No,
is.
he's not. He's high concept. He's very boring, and you can figure it out very easily once you meet him. Brian met him, and Brian
Yeah.
said, nothing special here.
Yeah, I was taller than he was.
He
I
didn't even.
bet.
Yeah.
By quite a bit.
Yeah. Pat him on the head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let him know he was a good boy.
So he's like Billy Joel. He looks a lot taller in pictures.
Yeah, and also he killed someone drunk driving. Did Billy Joel do that, or did he just get a lot of drunk driving tickets?
Well, let's say allegedly, so we don't get the lawyers on us again.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Matthew Broderick definitely did though. It wasn't that's not legend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to re-edit it so it's a Matthew Broderick joke? I think he's short too, so it works.
He is,
Yeah, it does work. Yeah.
It all it's intertwined.
What no one talks about when they see photos of celebrities is that almost all the photographers are short. So it makes everyone else look
Mhm.
bigger than they actually are. But it's like, you got this like 14-year-old kid taking pictures.
That's true. I mean, they have to be little, like tiny and scrappy, so they
Yeah.
can fit in the
Yeah.
bushes.
Yeah.
I heard that what can keep a podcast fresh is role playing.
Mm.
Have you had experience with that? Maybe someone does a cop or like a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes Alex does
A good
show on
cop.
the
Sorry.
podcast.
I just wanted to make sure.
Oh no, yeah. I mean,
Like-
A cab except for the good ones.
Yes. A cabs are for the ones that you're role playing to keep it fresh.
That's right. Yeah, sometimes Alex doesn't show up to the podcast, and sometimes it's Uncle Al, or sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
Captain Salsa Verde, or
Oh.
Uncle Al shows up and he's
Cookie?
disappointed. He's
Yes.
disappointed.
Uncle Al shows up. He has no idea what kind of podcast it is. What's One Piece? I have no idea what this is. That's how you keep it fresh. You
Mhm.
come in with characters, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is good. This
Yeah.
is all good stuff
Yeah,
to
this is
keep in
good to
mind.
know.
All the funniest podcasts have characters.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Serial.
true.
That's true.
Serial is full of characters.
Mhm. Characters welcome.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's copyright.
So I'm gonna go ahead and ask my question that I
Go ahead.
that I hinted at earlier. So this show is called One Piece. Can I get 2 pieces?
Pause for laughter.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Sure. You
That's
sure can.
good. That's pretty
Thank
good.
you. See,
I'm
okay.
happy that you saved it.
Yeah, me too.
I thought
Well
the
worth
pod
the wait.
universe would want to hear that.
Yeah.
Our
And that
fans
the
wanna
thing
hear it.
about that joke is it's so fresh.
Uh-huh.
Like no one's done that before for One Piece.
No.
So
Just
it's
me.
like that is like such a fresh joke. It's a fresh take.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Brian, you should come on the podcast and say that joke.
Oh, you know what? I haven't been invited, but I would.
Well, they might want you to read a chapter of One Piece.
No, I don't read. I'm reading Harry Potter right now, which we've already established is not as good as One Piece.
Not popular enough. So you got to switch to One Piece.
Also, that is Brian's stance when he says, "I'm reading Harry Potter." Wink, wink. That's his stance.
It's like being a friend of Dorothy, but the other way.
Yeah, that is his stance. Brian
You
went
read
out
Harry Potter?
and bought Harry Potter books after knowing. So
Mhm.
that is
They're on
his
sale.
take.
They're really cheap.
Yeah.
There's too many of them. I have my second question now.
Yeah.
So the One Piece, which I found out about when did we start recording? 20 minutes ago. Is, as you've told me, very popular.
Yeah.
I do feel like my natural instinct is, if I Google it, is something bad going to come up? One Piece, or will it just come up? And is it for children, or is it for people older than children? Adults.
Okay, so
Is this a sex thing? That's kind of what I'm getting at, because it feels like it's a sex thing, maybe a very popular sex thing, which I get.
I mean, I don't know what you're hoping for, Reeves, but
it's kind of more fear than anything else.
okay.
But,
Well,
yeah.
at the default, it's not a sex thing. I think
Okay.
if you like Google it, the Wikipedia entry is going to come up. Now, if you type in the words pornography after One Piece,
Okay.
then I'm sure you'll find some stuff that you're probably not going to want.
That's my mistake.
Yeah,
That was the
every
mistake
single
I kept
time.
making. When Alex introduced me to
Okay.
One Piece, I kept typing in, because that's just how I do it on Google. Anytime I
Right,
Google something, I put pornography at the end. And Alex was like,
Or feet.
Yeah.
One
And
Piece
Alex said,
feet. "Yeah, I'm sure."
stop, just put
there's a
One
wiki for
Piece
that.
anime. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it popped up. I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
is completely different.
Jeez. Saying One Piece feet automatically got the Foot Clan riled up, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So should we bring it up? I guess. Alex brought it up.
Well,
So I
I'd
didn't want to
rather
get
pick
political,
his
but he
brain
knows
about
about
it.
the war. So
Yeah. So last week we brought it up that there is an online war on the message board for PodChef happening currently between the Foot Clan and the Beehive. And we tried to get you guys to chill. We did what we could. We tried for diplomatic immunity. But it turns out that Vladimir Putin doesn't want to be diplomatic. But he also said that he's not doing anything. He said that he's not going to attack the Beehive. And he says, what are you talking about? I'm not going to attack the Beehive. But it's clear that Vladimir Putin is going to attack the Beehive.
Well,
People are
what
wondering,
is-
Vladimir Putin is the leader of the Foot Clan.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now, so does that mean that the leader of the Beehive is Spelinsky? Is that-
no, the leader of the Beehive
yeah, I
is
think that's good.
Zelensky.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Both are
Like,
good. Both are good answers.
Because
They have two
fuzzy.
leaders, Zelensky and Spelinsky.
wow, no
One of them
relation.
is a deep fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them's a deep
You got
fake.
to figure out which
You got to
one.
figure it out on your own when he gives speeches.
But
So
tensions are rising between the Foot Clan and the Beehive, and you got to think about the people who are just on the message board posting about PodChef. They're gonna get hurt.
Wouldn't this be a great thing to put on Art Fight?
Mm.
And if you're sitting there thinking, "What's Art Fight?" Alex, you're an artist. Tell us about what Art Fight is.
Mhm.
All right. Super Art Fight is the greatest art competition in the universe. Art Fight's been also going on for over a decade.
Okay, this is too much.
Brian can't understand all this
You're doing too
trying
much.
you're doing.
10 years.
I was 26 then.
Yeah.
Still
I
in
didn't,
the
know, I didn't know shit back then. Man.
I mean, yeah, that's what happens at 10 years. You know so much about the world. Let me tell you, Super Art Fight. It's really great. It's collaborative meets combative. It's a gigantic canvas up on stage. You have two artists on either side drawing at each other with Sharpies, turning whatever somebody drew into something else and making all new stuff. There's two commentators the entire time. The topics change. So you start with one topic. It could be monsters versus aliens. Somebody starts drawing Frankenstein's monster on one side. Somebody starts drawing the xenomorph from Alien on the other side.
Mhm.
And, over the course of a half hour, the canvas looks completely different from whence it had started.
Mm-hmm.
We do this live, and then we didn't because the pandemic happened. So then we did it over Twitch. And now we're coming back to our first live show in a very long time.
Nice. I've been to 3 of them now. They're very fun.
Do you want to give us the details of the next? We'll talk about it again at the end. But when is this next live show and where is it?
The next live show is in Baltimore at the Auto Bar
Oh, I
on
love the Auto Bar.
yeah, it's our home base, the Auto Bar. April 8th.
April 8th,
And
Auto
if-
Bar.
And if
Be
you want to
there.
see me, be there. If you want to see me, I will be headlining.
Headlining.
I'm main
Yeah.
eventing.
Yeah, he's main eventing. Also,
Wow.
the Alex, I don't know if you said this. I didn't catch it, but Alex doesn't show up as Alex.
I don't. I mean, I show up behind the scenes,
Yeah.
but crazy character will emerge.
Again, characters.
Role play.
Characters welcome.
Yeah.
We're very much like the WWE in that regard.
Oh, it is very much
Uh,
WWE adjacent.
Yes.
Brian?
Brian.
Stayed up last
Brian.
night watching Rampage. Pretty good show. Keith Lee versus Max Caster. Great main event. Just like Alex is main eventing. He's not curtain jerking. He's main eventing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The heat. I bet the heat at a super art fight. I bet there's a lot of heat, brother.
You could.
Oh,
there
it's
is-
palpable.
There is so much heat. You hear a lot of pops.
Yeah.
I got a lot of marks in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
30
I was
smart
a
marks
mark
there.
once.
30 smart
Yeah,
marks who
smarts.
know what's going on, but they still play it up.
Yeah, they. I try not to break kayfabe as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
Okay.
I'm sure the listeners love this.
No,
So
they
this
like everything
one,
that
this
we do.
hold on, this
Yeah.
one super art fight I went to. Alex did a whole bit with his marks. We act like he was fainting. He was like, "Oh, I can't keep up with this art," and he fainted. And then these marks came up and they resuscitated him, and they brought him back to life. And then he drew himself fainting and being brought back to life. It was a whole great, huge bit. I loved it.
Whoa.
Well, thanks, Jamal. I don't remember it, but
Oh, because you were passing. You were
'Cause you passed
getting
out.
knock it
Well,
out.
you weren't
that's the
there.
thing. I
Yeah,
mean,
you weren't technically there.
that's true. I was in the back. I don't know, probably playing on my phone or something.
doing coke off a bathroom.
Yeah,
I
bathroom
was
floor.
doing coke off of a bathroom floor.
Cleanest
The
place. Like a dog's
phenomenal
mouth.
place. To
Yeah, they're
do
cleaning all the time.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I don't want to tell you how to do your thing, but shouldn't they be called markers?
They ought to be. That's I'm going to pitch that. I'm going to
Yeah.
pitch that to the top brass and credit
To
Brian.
Vince. To Vince.
You guys don't have to go with that if you don't like it. It's just something Brian wanted to say.
No, I like it. Markers. I can't believe that hasn't. I honestly, in all honesty, can't believe that hasn't been brought up.
Sometimes it takes someone from outside to look in and give a little help. You're too close to it.
You're too close.
It's true.
I can't
sometimes,
go out the front door, brother. Too many markers out there.
They're after me.
They're after me, dude. Do you ever draw any like food or something like that?
Yeah, I love drawing food. No,
Yeah, Top Chef.
And we can check off Reeves' duties box for this episode.
No, food's a really fun thing to draw. We do an 18 plus show also. We usually do those at comic book conventions.
Okay,
or
I
something.
knew it.
So
One
we get to
Piece.
draw a lot of food. Oh yeah, and One Piece pornography. So we have food in. I usually draw food as used in Splosh, which I learned about from a episode of Real Sex, HBO's Real Sex.
Which number?
I don't know. This was probably
You always got to memorize the number,
do
brother.
you? This was like 20 years ago.
Oh, I know.
Splosh is like food play.
Splosh.
The fact that it's called Splosh, I think I want to say that it's a New Zealand thing, and probably because the episode that I remember watching, the guy kind of looked like Peter Jackson.
They all look like
Hey,
Peter
I was gonna say, I
Jackson.
think most of them
yeah.
do, right?
If you're using food for foreplay, you look like Peter Jackson.
The men and the women
old
look like Peter Jackson.
Not the current Peter Jackson who looks a little better, lost a bunch of weight, like
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings Peter
Yeah.
Jackson,
Hmm.
who looks more like George R.R. Martin now.
Yeah, I mean back then he looked like he read Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food in his beard, and he's like, "Nah, baby, this is just foreplay."
I think they call it splotch because of the sound it makes.
Yeah,
Because that's the sound it
probably
makes when you incorporate food and sex. It's like just
When you slap a pizza on
Splosh.
someone's belly.
yeah.
You know what? I'm probably gonna forget to Google it now, but it's okay. I'll Google it at work on Monday, and I'll report back to you. Make sure.
Please.
Please do Google it at work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've talked about those two big things. I guess let's move into our favorite segment that we always do, called Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment where we talk about what we had for dinner last night, and only last night,
No lying.
and we present it as if we're presented to the judges on Top Chef. I will go first. Chefs I prepared for you: baked salmon and garlic tossed broccolini.
Broccolini. How'd you cook that broccolini?
So, you know what? That's a good question. Because the first time I put it in the oven and roasted it, but I said, no, I'm going to cook it over the stovetop and saute it with garlic, salt, pepper. Well, no pepper to finish. But yeah, I cooked it over the stovetop and it got much more crispy.
Crispy.
And I liked it. Liked it better.
And in your pan, did you use an oil or did you use butter? What was your fat?
No butter, olive oil.
Okay.
And also, folks, stop putting olive oil in a cold pan. You
Ugh.
don't warm up the oil. You warm up the pan.
You warm up the pan and then you add your oil.
The oil should be piping hot, ready to go as soon as you add it to the pan.
That's
right?
cooking 101.
I'm so sick and tired of seeing these people take a pan out, put it down, put olive oil in it, and then turn the burners on. What are you doing?
Yeah, if that was me and I saw that happen, I would pick up that pan and throw it out the window.
Because you don't need it anymore.
And
You're
we're
not
on the
using it
second
right,
floor.
so you obviously don't need it.
You ruined the pan.
I don't care if it was a made-in pan that cost you $70. Use it correctly.
I
Is this your copper cookware? Get it out of here.
It's gone forever, and that's expensive stuff.
That's
so
super
you
expensive.
won't make that mistake again.
Yeah, I often go back out and pick up that copper cookware if I throw it
Keep
out.
it for yourself. You throw someone else's copper cookware and you pick it up and you take it home for yourself.
Well, you forget
Anything-
about it, and then you
Well-
go out and you see it, and you're like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
someone just threw this out." I'm
You guys
taking
know.
this.
Yeah, you guys know if you put anything out for trash, it's now public property. So
Yeah.
if I throw it out, it's now public trash and now it's mine. So I grabbed it, so it's mine. And that's how I got my collection.
Chefs, I prepare for you steak tacos. It wasn't bad. I think I had it was like steaks or something else last week. No, it was fried rice is what I did last week.
Mm-hmm.
But I made steak tacos. I did a little bit of like a dry rub on them ahead of time, which made them very salty.
What kind of dry rub? Was this like a...
I put it together myself. It was like salt, pepper, coriander. What else was in it?
Any cayenne in there?
Cayenne pepper was in there, or no, it
Any
was
paprika?
chili powder. No paprika. Cumin. What else was in? That was about it. There's a lot of stuff. It was just dry rubs, but it was a little salty for my taste.
Mm.
Ray, did you fuck up a third dinner? Was it too salty? Like, would you consider this to be fucked up?
I wouldn't call this a success, but I wouldn't call this a failure. So I think I'm getting better, but things are still real fucked up with my cooking.
You sound like Sam.
What it is.
You
Yeah.
sound like Sam from this episode, challenging yourself. There's no failure. You're learning.
Yeah. We'll get into that. I think he might just be a liar. Anyway, what were you saying? Just a real bad liar.
Did you do these gringo or like with some tomatoes and lettuce and sour cream and cheese or what?
It didn't have any lettuce, but yeah, there was tomatoes, cheese, sour cream, salsa verde,
Gringo.
corn tortillas, of course. I'm not doing flour, gross. Yeah, I think that was about it. So
Pretty
I
good.
give it a C.
Okay. Chefs, last night I prepared for you a single piece of sweet Hawaiian bread with Jif chunky peanut butter on it and Whole Foods brand strawberry preserves, and that was served, folded in half, and then eaten as I walked around the house.
Wow.
Okay. And this does sound like a PB&J.
I
think I've heard of that before.
It was my take on a PB&J in that it was one single piece of bread that I folded over in a bit of a taco.
Oh,
So it was a peanut butter and jelly taco.
You could call it that, yeah. But I want to, it kind of had like a brine thing to it, so maybe
What
like
was
a
your spice blend?
sugar, lots of sugar in there. The preserves was mostly sugar, I think, and Jif super crunchy. There's some sugar in there too, like a peanut sauce.
that's what I call peanut butter too. It's like I'm using a peanut sauce.
Peanut base. Yeah.
A little bit of sugar in it, yeah.
Yeah, and you can eat it on the go, It's something I didn't want to be sitting over a plate, like some animal. I just had it in one hand, and I put the back of my hand on the bottom of it, so if any jelly came out, it would go into my hand. So it didn't get on the floor.
You were unencumbered.
I was unencumbered. I just couldn't be bothered to cook to do more. I just needed a quick meal that was healthy and elevated while I watched basketball and then late night wrestling at 11:30.
What did your wife have for dinner?
She had. Oh, I don't remember what she had.
You're probably on a peanut sauce high.
I think she had leftover Chinese food.
Okay.
Yeah, not the best day for the Jackson Donovan house. I did. Is today Saturday? It was a big day though. I bought a motorcycle yesterday. Brought it home. Got it
you did.
home.
Now he's trying to dress
you
up
drive
his
it home?
shifts I prepared for you.
No, I
Say, by the
I
way,
prepared for you a motorcycle.
I bought a motorcycle, by the way, to try and distract us.
no. I
From
paid
the-
someone to drive it here on the back of a truck.
Okay. But it's in the castle now.
It's in the garage. Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
When do you plan on taking it out?
I got to get tags on it first, and got to get insurance. And I'm going to be out of town for the next 2 weeks, so probably after that.
Okay. April's going to be a big month for you.
Yep. Look out for me on the streets, folks. I'm hell on wheels.
All right, Alex.
Chefs, I have prepared for you my take on a baked salmon. I put my own spin on it. It's got a Golden's spicy brown mustard, Duke's mayo, and horseradish glaze.
Whoa. Holy
with
shit.
panko, and I do on the side for you, my chefs, a half Greek salad.
Didn't go full Greek. You never go full Greek.
Well, you never do now. You have to stick it in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Stick the Greekness in a little bit. It's half Greek because
We're still talking about rigs?
Yes, we are. It's half Greek because I'm half Greek, and because it didn't have olives because Bethany does not like olives.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys did the How I Met Your Mother.
The How I Met Your Mother. I have not seen a single episode of that television show.
Yes, explain.
They have a theory that in a relationship, one person likes olives, one person does not, and that's how you know you're compatible. One person eats the olives off the other person's plate.
Wow.
Which later in the season, it turns out that the other person was lying and did like olives the whole time, but wanted to give them to think. But, it kind of debunks the theory, but it's still true, I think.
Wow. I mean, either way, if it turns out she was lying the entire time, then great. She likes olives. I can put them in stuff. But right now, it's really great because I get free olives a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Delicious.
This puts my baked salmon to shame.
did sound
Thank
good.
you for cooking almost the same thing as me.
Can you? So you marinated it in the mayonnaise, the horseradish, and the mustard, or you just put it on top and
I
then
just put it on top. Yeah,
pankoed the top,
yeah, it sticks right to it.
Wow.
It's,
and then cook it in a pan, or was it like fried with oil, like more like a fried in a pan, or was it just like kind of how'd you cook it?
bake it in the oven, 350 for 20 minutes.
Okay.
Now, here's my question. Does that cook the fish too harshly? Because I've turned it down to 325.
Low and slow.
Yeah, I probably overcooked it a little bit, but it's okay. It tasted good.
It's still good.
Normally the glaze doesn't have the horseradish, but we decided to add that to mix it up.
But I also gave it a nice sour, right?
Yeah, well, it gives it a little bit of a sinus
burn in
sinus
the
clear.
nose.
Yeah,
Cleans you out.
little tang, tang or twang, both.
Both.
We accept both here.
Mm-hmm.
We're very, we accept both sides.
We are open to different interpretation of words and phrasings and stuff like that. The beehive, on the other hand, I mean, it really is a trigger for them. So
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
You're going to hear it in the boards, but for us, we don't really care.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question about the beehive.
Please go ahead.
I'm sure that they have established ground rules. I wonder, do they use conventional like U.S. spelling, or do they use European spelling? So the OU, or do they spell aluminum aluminium?
Well, they've kind of taken a stance of like inclusion, so it's like noodles and rice and everything nice.
Ah,
Yeah. And we'll be right back after this.
Perfect. That was, yeah.
Rough. That was rough.
That was perfect. What are you talking about?
Pod Chef.
All right. And we're back. This is Pod Chef Season 6, Episode 3, Top Chef Season 19, Episode 3. It's not confusing at all. We have our guest, Alex Kazanas is here, and we're going to talk about the episode now. Alex, how many... I know you're a big fan of Top Chef. Have you seen every season?
I'm gonna sound like a fake fan because I haven't seen every season. During the pandemic, we watched all of them up to season, I want to say 14.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and we watched 17 as it was airing. That's the
Mhm.
Melissa season, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Bethany has seen them all.
Okay.
She's seen them all. So I was going back and trying to rewatch everything. But at one point, I was watching so much Top Chef that I was having Top Chef dreams,
Mhm.
and they were really stressful. And I had to just sort of take a Top Chef reprieve for a while and just watch movies and stuff that wasn't Top Chef.
I had to stop watching Top Chef. I was having Top Chef wet dreams
Oh wow!
where I was cooking wet food, like soups and sauces.
Wake up wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm freaking out. I'm like, we put too much salt in.
Yeah.
Soups and sauce and everything, boss.
Wow, we'll be right
And
back
that
after
brings
this.
us again, episode
we-
titles, noodles and rice and everything nice.
Take that and edit it over before this. Or just like as a secondary. That might be more appropriate.
No, I don't think I can.
Okay.
So you did get to. So you saw the Hung season, which is nice because Hung does show up this episode, like we mentioned last episode, looking like $1 million, looking
He's
like
got
$100,000.
Hollywood juice, baby. Hollywood keeps you looking young.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Looks
That
great.
hair is fantastic.
That hair.
Beautiful hair.
It's amazing.
I'm jealous.
In fact, Hung came back and I'm pretty sure they're like, hey, Hung, do you want to come do the quick fire? He's like, no quick fire. I hate quick fires. They're stupid. No, I'm not wasting my time on a quick fire. Do the elimination. Just do the elimination. And that's what they did. They said no quick fire this time. It's just the elimination.
So we missed them saying that there's going to be no quick fire. So we were spending the entire episode going, why the fuck is there no quick fire? Can I swear?
Hold on. Let's have a meeting.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about the guest swearing? Is that okay?
I'm cool with it.
You're cool with it, Reeves?
I guess I have to be cool with it.
Okay. Well, you're the co-host, so your vote actually matters. I just asked Brian, so he feels included.
Here, I'll go off feeling like if he swears again and I don't like it, I'll tell him to stop it and I'll get it out of there. But it'll be a by feel thing.
Okay, I'm good either way. So, all right. So, you know what, Alex, go ahead. You can free to talk any kind of way.
Okay, great. Well, let's see. Where was I?
I don't
was
know.
about to drop a C bomb.
You missed the part where they said no quick fire.
Yeah, we missed there was a quickfire. That there was no quickfire, and we spent literally the entire episode talking about that's weird that there was no quickfire. They didn't say anything. Like normally they'll say something. I wonder what happened. Maybe there was a COVID scare or somebody effed up.
I really do think it was Hung saying, "You're not bringing me back for the quick fire, then not for the rest of the episode." I think Hung literally has the pull to be like, "No, well, I'm doing elimination. Let's just cut out the quick fire. It's stupid. Just do a big elimination."
Is that why they haven't brought him back in 15 years? Which he
think
did
so.
call out.
Yeah.
I think so.
He's like, I freaking won this show, and
Yeah.
you guys wouldn't bring me back.
And he was
Probably
like, "The
that.
kitchen's bigger. I helped build this.
Yeah.
That's
He's one of
nice.
the pillars.
Maybe you should have brought me back more."
Mm-hmm.
I like Hung has librarian shoes on. He's full in his almost retired mode. I like it.
I didn't catch his shoes.
You
What
didn't
are,
catch his shoes?
catch it.
I
what are
catch his
library
shoes.
shoes to you?
They were just very comfortable looking
Okay.
shoes.
Mm.
And that wasn't a dig at librarians. Please don't come after me again. I can't do that. I can't have that kind of legal battle again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said some very hurtful things. You made some very, very big allegations against them.
Yeah.
Well, if the Dewey Decimal fits, the chefs go look at the street food stations, and Brian's looking at me. Brian, don't give me that look while I'm trying to segue
Brian,
away from a bad joke.
You
all right?
gotta wipe that off your face.
Yeah.
Man.
You gotta change your face. I can see it. So there's just an elimination challenge. The chefs were challenged to create street food dishes inspired by Asian flavors to be served for 100 guests at an Asian night market. The contestants were randomly assigned cuisines for inspiration, which included Vietnamese, Indian, Chinese, Filipino, and Japanese.
All these food stations looked awesome.
Looked great.
Oh my god.
Looked-
I was really pissed because we had just finished dinner and I was so hungry.
Mhm.
You were like, all I had was horseradish salmon, and this is like,
yeah. They're getting noodles and fried chicken.
I mean, I'd rather eat all that.
Mhm.
I mean, I wish there was something like that. I mean, there probably is you'd think there'd be something like that near me in New York or so. But like, man, I want to go to Houston just to go to this place.
Let's listen to the chefs go and experience the street vendors.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Evelyn?
Hello.
So what's in the sauce? Peanut, cabbage, and there's also banana hearts.
Oh, mapo tofu? Yes.
Oh my god. I love this.
Go in it, y'all.
Oh, hell
You
yeah.
got all the meat right here.
I'm allergic to shellfish.
Okay, so
No, but like only the shell. I want to be buried in whatever this is when I die,
thank you.
which I might because of all the shellfish.
Why are you eating shellfish then?
She said just the shell, so she can't
Yeah.
eat the shell. That's the best part.
Yeah. You're not eating the shell of a crab when you get crab? Come on. That's the tasty part.
Yeah.
You know what confused me? When I would go to like seafood places and they'd have crab legs, and I'm like, why are people breaking this meat out of this crab leg? You eat the whole
Yeah.
leg. You don't want the crunch.
Yeah. You got it's texture. Eating is texture.
Eating is texture.
And
Look
the
at these
crab is
legs.
basically like a sandwich already ready for you. It's got the two breads, which is shell,
Uh-huh.
and then the inside is the meat, or in my case, peanut butter and jelly.
I was gonna say, Brian, you've made your own sandwich using crab like that before, haven't you?
Yeah, I took 2 pieces of crab shell,
Mm.
and I got some deli turkey.
Mhm.
It's, you know, the good stuff like boar's head deli turkey, like a pepper turkey, and then maybe got like some Swiss. And I put it on one of the crab shells and I put it in the toaster with the other piece of bread next to it.
Mhm.
Heat it up, put it together, called Krabby Melt.
Yeah. I remember when you had that, like, because you ate it, before a record once, and then like you took a big bite and then you smiled at us, and then blood just came out, just poured out of your mouth. But like, I could tell you were really enjoying yourself, that it was a good, tasty treat.
It was a good, tasty treat.
Brian also ate this before your wedding, Reeve.
Oh,
I
really?
did. Well, yeah, because they just
Yeah.
had sandwiches laying around all in the ocean there. I just find them in the ocean.
Yeah.
I'd pull them right up, ready to put them off the beach, get a sandwich.
He kept coming back up to the bar where everyone was at. He was like, "Yo, this reception's great." I'm like, "Brian, reception hasn't started yet."
Yeah.
Yeah, free
He's
food.
like, "What are all these sandwiches in?"
I was at the restaurant down there. They were like, "You mean where the ocean is?" I was like,
It's
yeah.
like it keeps throwing food back at you like every 7 seconds.
Most people think this is a good idea. My dentist hates it.
Oh, yeah. Dentists hate him.
Dentists hate me.
Yeah.
Big picture,
This
bro.
one secret of fucking up all my teeth eating a crab.
Why does Sam always have a backpack on? What's with that? Have you guys
Like the
noticed
class.
that?
I don't know. I think he's just, he's always ready to leave in case of emergency.
All of his stuff on.
I got
Just
all
in
my
case he gets
stuff.
eliminated at
Yeah,
any
I got all
point.
my stuff on me. If something goes down, I can just book it.
Yeah,
I think he knows. I think he knows that he's gonna get eliminated.
Yeah.
probably.
I
Yeah.
think they came to Sam early on in this episode, said, "Hey, would you like to do a couple backstories?" He was like, "Uh-oh." Do I have to?
He's like, no, can I do it next week? They're like, no, you're doing it this week.
"No, we need you to do it this week."
It's just because if you've been holding back at all on anything in your interviews, just like let it all out now.
Let it out now. Anything you want on the show. Do
Tell
it.
us what you do, what you're all about.
They-
Alex,
they've
this
been,
is. Oh, please.
Oh yeah, they've been showing a lot of baby pictures this season.
Yeah.
I don't remember all these baby pictures.
They're going back to, I said it before. This is my prediction. They're going back to the roots, man. They're going back to early Top Chef, really trying to get to know these chefs and like really play them up and then kick them off the show.
Yeah. Humanize them,
Yeah.
show them as cute children that overcame things in their lives, and then get them to fuck off this
And if
show.
you're a minority, get out of town.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Have any
Yeah.
of the white men been kicked off yet?
White women have.
White women.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the white guys, I guess they're keeping them around for some reason, even though a lot of times they're cooking poorly.
And a lot of times they can't even taste their food or smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Oh my God.
I want to point out, as we're on this tangent, as they go around and the chefs are like getting to talk to the stations, when the two black contestants go up to the station, they get to ask one question each, and then it's cut away. And then we have Jackson giving a whole full minute breakdown of his COVID breakdown of like what his ailment is. And I'm like, we just had two black people who got to speak about fried chicken for all of 15 seconds. And now I got to listen to Jackson talk about his COVID problems for a whole minute and a half. This show's going back.
It doesn't really pay off. And this is the second time that they've done it. So they introduce it as like it's going to be a narrative throughout the episode, and it really doesn't pay off. Like a more interesting narrative to me is like Damar and Nick had no experience cooking Japanese food or whatever, and then they both did well. So it's like I could probably follow that and get more of a payoff than we get it. Jackson has COVID, or he had it, and now he sticks his nose up food and stuff like that, even though he can't smell it.
I think they're going to milk this. I think this is good because it's going to cause drama at one point.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait for that shoe to drop. I can't wait to see Padma's face when she finds out that he's had COVID. Well, no, he had COVID, and he just couldn't taste anything this entire time. Just winging it.
I think if we saw anything this episode, Padma got really annoyed about the way in which certain curry and potato was cooked, and like how it was kind of disrespectful to Indian food. Like she would not let it go, and we'll talk about that a little later. But boy, I've never seen her this perturbed by what a chef has done on the show.
Yeah, she's not having a good time, and everyone calls it out too. They set it up. They're like, "Who's afraid to cook Indian food for Padma?" And it's like everyone is.
Everyone.
She's like, "Good. This is the way I like it."
So they
fear in the contestants.
So they get into their BMW Knight Rider cars, and they tell Kit to take them to the Hong Kong market. Let's go back and listen to Jackson.
And I don't know exactly what I'm making, but I think it's going to be a spring roll.
Pho is one of my favorite Vietnamese dishes, but how can I make pho portable, right? You can't walk around with a big bowl of soup.
I believe in you.
Yeah, you can. But how do you think soup gets delivered?
Yeah.
So you're wrong.
You think they
Jackson.
shoot it out of a cannon and it flies through your window and into your mouth? No. They got to carry it.
You think it's in their mouth and they come and spit it out into your bowl when they deliver it? No.
Yeah, only at certain places, and you pay more for it.
Yeah.
I saw that on an episode of Real Sex.
What was the number?
55.
You remember that one?
Sexy.
Yeah. Peter Jackson. The actual Peter Jackson was in that one.
I like to have my soup delivered. No, wait, he's what? New Zealand? Or is he British?
I'd say you should do that voice. Just do that voice.
I think it still fits.
I like doing like Fat Brando for it.
Just do that voice.
Delicious penis.
That's
stealing critic
Orson
jokes.
Welles.
Oh, that's right. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm getting my fat actors confused. How dare I, as a fat person? I'm gonna be kicked out of the fat society. If they could lift me.
Sam is doing rice and potatoes, and rice rarely goes over well. And like I said, this was a heavy Sam episode early on, so I started to get very worried for Sam.
Me too.
And then he forgets his potatoes as they're packing up, and they're just sitting there boiling. I'm like, how do you forget all those potatoes you were boiling?
You're too busy dancing with a mascot.
Yeah, he was dancing. He was doing weird hand gestures and talking about how he motivates kids and stuff like that. And then he said that the potatoes were boiling. It didn't look boiling to me.
No.
Yeah. Like they were taking a jacuzzi bath.
Yeah.
And water.
That was part of it.
Sam has this weird Pee Wee Herman vibe. Like he has like this perpetual smile like on his face, and he sort of like moves around like he's like hopping.
Yeah.
Like I want to see him in a Pee Wee Herman tuxedo. See if it works out.
I bet it
I
does.
can already see it.
Yeah.
I can already see it. It works.
I was gonna say that he does have that smile, but there's some sadness behind those eyes. You can kind of see it at the end when he's like, I'm glad I learned, and his eyes are so sad, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah. He's been through a couple of things, I guess, in his life. And
He
he's
seems
trying
like
to
he's had a
cover it
rough
up.
time, and he's chosen happiness. He's like, I'm just gonna be happy.
I'm just gonna be happy, and even failures are a chance to look at the glass half full.
Yeah.
Manifest.
I'm
Positive
thinking
attitude.
it was something in his childhood, because he's like, children of the future, we've really got to get to those kids early, and really make them happy about food, because it's probably like something happened to him where, I don't know, like a stalk of broccoli attacked him or something like that, and he's never gotten over it.
Yeah. Did you guys see how, because Jackson can't taste his food, did you see how he made a spring roll and then like shoved it in a in a person's mouth?
Yes.
It was like, taste this.
He gave
put it
it
in
to
Buddha's
Buddha,
mouth. Yeah.
and Buddha,
Buddha
then ate the whole thing.
The whole thing in
without
once, and was
chewing.
like, "Yeah, that's so good." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
He could have taken one bite at a time, but he put the whole thing in his mouth. It seemed uncomfortable.
Kind of ate it like a duck.
Yes.
It looked like a shredder, like a food shredder. It was just taking
Yeah.
in the spring roll.
Shredder. That's Krang.
Do you want to take that again?
Craig.
Nope. Krang.
Okay.
The brain.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's cut to the night market. They're at the night market. They're ready to go. And for whatever reason, Sam decides, well, I don't have my potatoes, so I'm going to do something no one's doing, grilling the potatoes. For whatever reason, who knows why. But
I think that's the only way he had to. There was like a toaster oven and a grill. There was no like hot plates, it looked like.
well, then you drop the potatoes. Then you don't serve them.
I think he definitely needed to pivot in some way.
You know what he could have done actually, if he had foil, he should have just baked potatoed them on the
Did
grill.
he have time? It takes a long time though, doesn't it?
I know, but weren't they prepping for like an hour?
Yeah, they had an hour. Like he probably could have boiled potatoes in
That's
an
what
hour.
I was thinking. Yeah.
Did they have a hot plate though?
Some people did. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if people had different kind of equipment. Because I know I saw when Jackson was cooking, because he was like, I don't have enough time to make these spring rolls. You could see in the background he had some flame going or something like that. So it would have taken some time.
I think you could have wrapped them in foil and put them on that grill, and they'd been fine.
Or just cut it. Like pivot away from it.
Yeah.
What I learned also from this segment was that russet potatoes are called the chef's potato.
Russet potatoes are the chef's potatoes. You need a potato, you need a russet.
And no explanation why that is.
Yeah.
Just that's what it is. And we have to believe it, I guess. What else is it going to be? Frickin'
Yukon Gold.
Yukon Gold? No.
Yeah.
No,
Just for
no.
Canadians.
I don't think
Fingerling?
so. Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
tiny red one?
I did like when they showed him grilling the potatoes and like flipping it over on the grill. It did remind me of something someone like my roommate in college would have done on a George Foreman grill, and then been like, "See, well, you can cook anything on this." Then you're trying to like, what are we doing?
And
here,
he
guys?
bites it and it snaps and it's like still raw.
Yeah.
It's like perfectly done.
Oh, there's not much worse than like an uncooked potato. It just like has the consistency is so bad. That
Terrible.
sucks.
So Tom liked one of the first dishes he was served. I think it was the first time I ever seen Tom ask for seconds.
He said if he didn't, that was Evelyn's dish. She said if
Yeah.
I didn't have to eat more food, I would ask for a second of this. And to Tom, I say, just order seconds, bro.
Just get seconds.
Your
bro.
stomach expands, dude. It's a muscle.
You got to exercise it. Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about slurp mode.
Yes, Gail. When
Yes.
they're eating Jay's dish,
Yes.
they all go into slurp mode.
She goes into slurp mode. She said, and I know we're not supposed to do that this season, but yes, slurp mode has been activated for this, and we're
Let's
all
listen.
doing it.
Let's listen to Tom and Jay.
Hello. How are you keeping track of all of this stuff here?
It's a little crazy.
Insane.
So what is it? Sichuan style stir-fried noodle with Korean melon and crispy ramen on top.
Wow.
That's something that I grew up with as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, not ready yet, Chef.
Oh, hello.
Don't touch them.
I know there's a couple things you left out over here.
We're 17.
It's good to.
Hey, Gail, my office now. Gail, shut the door. We all know that there's a lot of stuff in the dish. When it's ready, it'll be served. Problem? Little comment section. Now go back to the peanut gallery.
Yeah. Tom was like motioning to all of the ingredients she had, and it was just like normal stuff. It was just like salt and stuff. He was like, "What are you gonna do with all this stuff over here? Have you guys ever seen these things before?" He's like, picks up. It's like a carrot.
Yeah.
He's like puts it in his ear. What do I do with this? Put it here.
Yeah. Cooking's wild.
He starts doing some like carrot head like prop bits. He's like, oh, this thing. What is this? A typewriter?
Yeah.
Oh no! Look at me. I'm Edward Scissorhands. He cut hollows into the carrots. Just holding them out.
Pam is like, you can't annoy me enough to allow me to let you go back to Evelyn's station. Okay, I know that's why you're doing this.
It was very good.
Slurp mode. You guys remember when Busta Rhymes used to always go into slurp mode? slurp mode squad. You people had enough? Give me some more. We're
This is
all
all
just in
good.
slurp mode right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they slurped it up. Gail really liked Damar's dish.
She said it in a way that she likes Damar too. She was like, "This is." She like it was like everyone was like, "Gail, be cool. We're supposed to like eat these foods and have a nice like steady face." She was like, "Oh my god, this is so good."
But she also ran her index finger down his chef coat, be like, "Keep this up. You'll be on the show for a long time."
How'd you like a feature in Food and Wine magazine?
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. How would you like me to feature you in Food and Wine magazine?
You know, I was really worried about Damar initially because he was like, he had all this tofu and he's just like, yeah, I got to use this tofu. And he wasn't pressing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, press the tofu. What are you doing? So
He figured it out.
yeah I mean, hey, Togarashi hot sauce. I want that.
Yeah, that
that looked good.
He's like, I just figured out what this is. And
Yeah.
they were like, it's fucking great.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that on some chicken or something.
It looked great.
Spice up my life.
It looked delicious. He's doing well.
Yeah, did the ham hock.
Well,
ham hock
here's what we know though from last episode. He's got a secret weapon. Whenever he's humming and cooking, it's over. He's in the zone.
And we
As
saw
soon as he
him
starts
humming.
humming, it's over.
Yeah. He was doing it.
So someone fried a potato and it turned to dough.
Wait, who's that?
Who did do that? I forgot who did it. Buddha Low did that. And
he fried puff pastry.
He fried puff pastry and it turned doughy and chewy. And he was specifically told not to fry it.
I know. She was like, I told you not to do it.
And he was like, well, we do it. And I wanted to put my spin on it. And she was like, well, you can't do that with puff pastry.
Yeah.
So it's raw in the middle. Sam's potato curry isn't potato curry, and Padma was pissed. I kind of mad that I didn't clip this because she broke down like, that's not potato curry.
She was mad. She was really mad.
I think she also might have been a little offended that he called it Samaloo.
Yeah. Well, he said it with like a big kind of smirk on his face,
Yeah.
and it cut to Padma, and she was no selling it. And
Yep.
it was like, oof, you're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Like it was really great because Padma had such a face, and then everybody had like a face like right afterwards.
I think
mad.
Hung kind of was like rubbing his head, like he
Yeah.
knew he was in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hung's like, when Padma gets upset, you done fucked up.
Well,
Yeah.
see, what I think what it is, and Tom emailed me about this because I was like, why was she so mad about this? And apparently, before they went into the night market, Padma went to the judges and she was like, if someone does some cheeky name change where they put their name in the fucking title of the dish, I'm gonna lose my shit. And they were like, that's not gonna happen. And then it happened.
It cuts right to Sam.
Yeah. Everyone is stunned, kind of looking at the side of their eyes. And Padma's about to fly off the handle. She holds it until they get to their table, and she loses it then.
I love Tom being like, so Sam, what'd you do with the potatoes? I grilled them. And you can kind of see Tom's face be like, I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit. You grilled a potato? I'm gonna vomit. There's no way this is cooked.
You know, the cheeky name thing. I remember Avishar doing that a lot last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I wondered if Sam was going to be the new Avishar. We were talking about that last night, and I recall that Buddha did something similar an episode or two ago, but that ended up working out for him.
Sam does have strong Avishar vibes in that I thought he was going to do really well and is a happy man, but instead went home very early.
Yeah, he went home 3 weeks before Avishar did. So
Avishar made it to week 6. Still way earlier than expected. But yeah,
Yep.
Sam, strong Avishar vibes.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of like when you fuck up going like, okay, I'm going to lean really into concept now, and that's going to get me over the line is a mistake. Like just just pivot from to something else.
let's talk about Judge's table because Jackson is in the top 3 and he didn't even taste his food.
I mean, he's got a horseshoe up his ass.
Right?
At some point, I see the look on his face when he's in the top 3, and he's like, "Oh God, if I win, I'm gonna feel so bad when they find out that I can't taste."
Yeah,
and they kept saying to him all these compliments about his food, and he just kept being like nodding, and like, "Thank you, thank you."
He's like, "Yes," and you know what? I could totally taste everything as I was making it too.
I knew it all went together.
I think part of it too is like the guilt he felt knowing that the only way he could really taste it was smelling things, and that meant there were boogers in the food. So they were all eating his boogers, and then they liked it, and so he's confused about that.
Perfectly salted. These are it's seasoned so well.
Yeah.
And Buddha's on the side, being like, his dish was good. It was very good.
Why haven't they shown? Because it's had either he's told all the other contestants what's going on, or no one is letting him taste their food. Because like everyone tastes everyone's food, but we haven't seen someone be like, "Hey Jackson, taste this," and then him having to be like, "Oh yeah, it tastes good." Like that's the drama that I want with this scenario.
I'm sure that's coming up.
You're gonna have someone who can't taste, make him taste your food and see if he lies or see if he just goes, "I can't taste it."
You know what's going to happen? I think is that they're going to have a quick fire challenge where it's like tasting something, and you have to get like the tastes or the whatever it is right. Like it's going to be like syrup, and
they have to do the blind taste test while
he's going to fail, and it's a team thing. So it's like he's got to get a certain amount of points for the team, and he's going to be like, I don't know what that is. Pass.
It might be next week might fuck him up because they have to make the same dish make him taste very different. He
hasn't. Only the way he could do that is if he puts sugar in one and salt in the other.
Oh man.
One of these is really sweet. Yeah. Which one is that one? Right? Which one?
I'm pretty sure it's one of them. You'll find out. It's a surprise for both of us.
But then they'll say, "Oh, why is this sweet? Oh, well, that's the way I like it."
Yeah. That's the way I like it. Well, this is supposed to be the savory one. Yeah, but savory is just a concept. It's not real.
And I know people are going to wonder this, and I'm just going to put it out there. Hung didn't give us an update on the monkey. So we don't know.
Back for a second, Alex. Just sit back.
We don't know.
Just let them do that.
Alex, in season 2, Hung makes it he tells the world that he has a monkey.
Yes.
And we talked about it a bunch that season. We were very interested. Someone owns a monkey. You want to know everything you can about it.
Yeah. And I mean, the relationship he has with the monkey is not like a healthy one.
It is not a good relationship.
The monkey was running the show. The monkey was very disobedient in his house, ruining things, like telling him how to cook. And it was really kind of ruining his life to some degree. And maybe it's what motivated him to win Top Chef.
So he can get his own place and not have to have a monkey roommate anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he had the glow up. 15 years later, the monkey's finally gone, maybe dead, or just moved out.
No,
and now he can
live for a long time.
Now he can finally like be a normal, a human that doesn't own a mean monkey.
Well, maybe that gray is stress from owning one.
Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah,
it could all be real. He did look like he was kind of looking over his shoulder every now and again. I saw him checking to make sure a door was fully closed. So I would like to think that he has moved on from the monkey, that the monkey and him aren't living together, but maybe there's a possibility that the monkey is still kind of like hunting him in some way. And especially when it comes to Top Chef, it's like it knows that area. So
that's where he's going to be.
It's basically that monkey's jungle. So he's got to be extra careful.
Look for that monkey in the Kraven the Hunter movie coming out next year.
What's that?
Kraven the Hunter is a Spider-Man villain that's getting his own movie.
Oh, he's the one that's got the lion shoulder things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that because. Oh. Wow, he made a Hollywood. He made it. Wow, good for him. He did Hollywood.
All right, is that it for the monkey thing?
For now.
For now, yes.
I think I wanted to mention also that I think maybe Hung has grown that good silver hair because when a silverback matures, it gets that nice silver mane.
Yep.
And so maybe he's established dominance fully over the monkey.
He's the alpha.
I hope
and so now that the monkey knows, he's the alpha.
Mm-hmm.
For his sake.
Which, by the way, season 2 of Animals is on Netflix, and there is an apes episode, and it is very great to watch the two apes kind of have a standoff.
That the HBO show Animals, where they're it's like a cartoon.
This is on Netflix. I literally said Netflix. It's actually
there was an HBO show called Animals that was good about cartoon animals.
Mm-hmm, I know what you're talking about. I'm not talking about that. I said Netflix. I specifically said season 2 of Animals on Netflix.
Okay.
Well, monkey adjacent but Hung relevant. During
you talking about Riggs?
I'm talking about Riggs, baby. Yeah, Hung's got a good one. When he has absolutely no poker face. When he was eating Ashley's daikon, he was just going like, like he was shaking his head big time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was back on the show.
Well, Tom also couldn't get the meat off of the steak.
It was pretty embarrassing for him because like his dentures came out because it was like such a big piece of daikon.
Well, but then he tried to play it off because she was like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "No, I have teeth."
Yeah, he's like,
she's like, "I saw them come out." He's like, "No, these are my teeth. These
I
are real
love
teeth."
her commentary. She was like, "Oh, Tom, having a tough time, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of trouble."
No, I have strong teeth that I grew myself.
Yeah, these are my real teeth. And I love that later she pointed out that she's like, I had one that I knew that was larger, and Tom picked that one out. Which is like, was he trying to prove something to her ahead of time? He was like, I can handle something this big, and I do have real teeth. And it all blew up in his fucking face.
After this episode, Tom said, "Keep that in.
Yeah,
they need to know I've got real teeth." So Jay wins, even though her dish had 16 components. She won. And Sam realizes his mistake as he's at judge's table. And I love the self-awareness he has. Let's listen.
When you're taking a risk on a dish, you have to remember how to cook.
They just were not cooked through.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, if I took 2 steps back, maybe I might have changed it, but I don't regret what I did because I'm learning.
All right.
Don't regret what I did because I'm learning.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I guess that's all we can do here with this person.
Padma is still upset, and you'll hear in the elimination how she's still upset because she never makes a comment after eliminating someone. Mm-hmm. And should we just jump to that to listen to her?
Alex, any thoughts on Sam learning? I know you made a big expression.
You don't say I'm learning on Top Chef, especially when you're about to go to Last Chance Kitchen. You're like, oh, well, I'm glad that I did this because, I'm learning. I'm like, yeah, well, you're not going to make it Top Chef. You're still learning. You're supposed to be Top Chef. You're not supposed to. It's Top Chef, not student chef.
I'm going to be Top Chef by the end of this.
Not learning chef, yeah.
And this podcast is called Pod Chef, not, we talk about Top Chef, not Bottom Chef, which is our segue podcast we're going to start. Our branch podcast to keep it fresh.
Chef.
Yep, Power Bottom Chef. Mm-hmm. So let's listen to Sam get eliminated and Padma make a comment.
Sam, please pack your knives and go.
This experience was so much fun, yes, it's heartbreaking, but then I keep remembering, I have my right hand, I have my left hand. That's all I need.
Sam, Last Chance Kitchen will get a chance. Maybe you can grill a potato and make it work. I don't know.
Or maybe not.
Sounds good.
Take care.
Padma, he's gone.
Just cut it. We heard the good part. We heard the 2 parts.
Padma, he's gone. It's okay. Or maybe you don't. Jeez.
She's like, that's not my show, so I'm not going to be there for that.
Yeah, I won't be there for that. That's Tom's thing. Have fun with Tom. Let's talk about Last Chance Kitchen.
Hold on. I know that we're we gotta. I have my left hand. I have my right hand, and that's all I need. Is he gonna serve us his hands? You need food too.
Yeah,
Sam.
Yeah, why doesn't he just say, "Well, I still have my health"?
I think all that was cut.
Yeah.
I think all that was cut.
I think he named all of his body parts. They just kept the 2 hands. I have my left hand, my right hand, my left foot, my right foot.
My left kidney. I've got my right kidney. I've got a left lung. I got a right lung. 2 nostrils. Ears. Eyes.
And
One
they're
heart.
kind of like doing the wrap up thing to him. And he's like, hold on. I still have more things.
2 legs. 2 feet. 2 knees. 2 testicles.
My
2
backpack.
intestines. I got 2 intestines.
I still have my. I still have my backpack.
Yeah. Well,
that's all I need.
This was him pulling things out of his backpack and showing. So it was like someone else's hands that he still had. Yeah.
And Hung was like, "That was the monkey."
Oh no. I gotta ask, and I'm gonna ask the 2 anime guys here, Alex and Jamal.
Yeah.
Does he have the backpack because he does the anime run? You think he does the anime run?
Okay. I didn't want to bring this up, but there is a reason why you haven't seen him run on the show.
Because he does the anime run.
Yeah. Yeah. He I think there's a video on YouTube of him walking very quickly, or it looked like he was walking, but he was actually bent over with his arms straight out in the back, and he was actually running to catch a bus after the show.
Yeah.
And that's online, and it's making the rounds. And so, yes, that's why I had the backpack. And in the backpack are a bunch of ninja tools.
Yeah, there is also a deleted scene of them shopping at the different markets, and he is blazing through those aisles with his arms outstretched. Like he is, you could barely see him, which is why they cut it.
Yeah. He also kept saying shunpo, which is, he's doing flash steps all around the market. And we're like, we can't catch this on camera if you're going to do a bunch of flash steps around the market. And people are like, what is this gust of wind that keeps hitting me out of nowhere? And it's like someone who's also then telling them a whole story about like, I've got my left hand. I've got my right hand. That's all I need to buy this stuff from the store.
And if you, like me, didn't understand any of that, you can listen to Alex's podcast where they're going to explain it in detail.
Well, only listen to the One Piece podcast if you're caught up on One Piece, by the way.
Yeah, only listen to that if you're caught
No,
up.
you can start now, start later. That's what I plan on doing.
I can't just jump in?
Yeah. I like to just jump into a pool. I don't care how deep it is.
I know y'all like The Simpsons. I like to joke that we're first and foremost a Simpsons podcast where we talk about One Piece every once in a while.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
So you'll get a little bit of it.
But you will not understand all the things that are happening in the story if you just jump right in. So go back and read all 1,043 chapters, please.
That's right. Viz.com/Shonen Jump. $1.99 a month. It's the best and easiest way to read One Piece.
And please don't say that's too many chapters. It's not. I did it. It's easy.
Yeah, Jamal did it in like a month. It was crazy.
It's easy. You just need to have no life. It's easy.
Now I'm really confused because I thought One Piece was a TV show.
It is also.
No, it's a cereal.
Yeah,
it's a cereal.
Well, that's what I got from it.
Technically, it is a cereal.
And it's a sneaker.
It's a sneaker.
Okay.
It's a backpack as well.
No,
I'm
really lost.
Actually, the backpack that Sam had was the One Piece backpack.
And he had the One Piece in it.
Hey.
I keep that.
That's why you couldn't see. That's why you wouldn't open the backpack, because we can't have that kind of a.
Okay, so what is the One Piece?
No, can't talk about it.
Well, I can tell you for one thing, it's not friendship.
It's definitely not.
It's not the friends we made along the way.
This is a pirate show, right? They're pirates.
Yeah, it's about pirates. Yeah, it's the main character ate an ancient fruit that turned his body into rubber. And
what?
Yeah, he's a pirate. He ate this fruit that turns him into rubber, and the curse of the fruit is that he can't swim. So it's basically about him and his adventures.
And Brian, I know what you're thinking. It's not just him. Other people have eaten some ancient fruits too, and they can't swim either.
Might say an entire section of people.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Last Chance Kitchen. Princess Kamalea wins again.
Yeah.
Beats Sam, who I think his Achilles heel is just potatoes. Even though he did make a good dish that Tom said he liked, and it did incorporate a lot of potatoes, it wasn't a complete dish to me. And he also said that he had no plan. It was just emotional cooking. And, kids, leading with your emotions rarely works. You want to have a plan. And then, the emotion should be commitment to the plan and try and make your plan come to fruition and meet your goals.
You said plan a lot just then. Do you think...
I plan on saying more.
Do you think, and this is a question for just Alex, do you think that it was offensive that he said, I figured she was going to do something basic like cook breakfast, and then she cooked breakfast? Should she be offended when she goes back and watches this later?
I mean, yeah. Look, you don't go there to I don't know. If you're going to say something like that, like, oh, I'm going to do something, basic. I don't know. To me, that seems cocky more than anything else.
And you better win. That's like a Hung move, but Hung would then back it up and win.
Yeah, Hung would then crush you.
Yeah. But she did. He nailed it, because then he was like, would you rather have someone... Okay, here's a question for all three of you guys here.
Oh, nice.
Would you, in fact, rather have someone cook you something that they've perfected or something that they've never done before?
Yeah, and they were making up on the spot.
And it was all one ingredient.
Perfected, please.
Yeah, perfected is generally the way I would go. However, Jay has shown us in the last couple episodes that she hasn't cooked any of these things before. But end up on top today, so I don't know.
It worked this time. The other week it did not work. She's like, I want to do North Korean food. They were like, why? I don't know.
She was like, I don't know, I wanted to do it, but it bodes well for me and my fantasy team.
Fantasy update.
Well, first we need to do the small talk clip of the week.
Oh.
Here's the small talk clip of the week.
Hey, Sam, what are you making?
potatoes every single possible way.
Every single possible way in 35 minutes.
In 35 minutes. I'm grilling it, I'm frying it.
I boil them, I mash them, I stick them in a stew.
Peter Jackson saw this episode and got pissed.
Potatoes.
So that was a small talk clip of the week. Thank you, Tom. Now let's talk about the fantasy standings. Brian couldn't wait because he's finally out of third place.
Took some work.
I'm in third place. Yeah, the work was he complained before the episode about the way I was following on a technicality the scoring. So because of that, Brian is now in the lead by 1 point. Oh, in second place by 1 point. I'm in the bottom with 16.5 points. Brian is second place with 17.5 points, and his contestant is fully eliminated this week. And Reeves is kind of breaking away because every week someone on his team wins the elimination, and he has 26.5 points, and it is becoming devastating to try and catch up to him. So I need him to start losing some people so he loses some points.
Yep. It's the Michelin stars. They're crushing it. Let me see. I think I have Luke on my team, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He will eat it pretty soon, I feel like. That's okay. You can bank on him going out, and you know what? Maybe Buddha too. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm banking on Jackson being used just for drama, so I'm hoping to get those points for at least 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Before he's sent home and on a big, huge plate of "you can't taste food, get out of here."
Yeah, you can't be on this show.
Tom's like, "Why didn't you tell me you haven't been tasting food properly this entire time?"
None of your big, huge none of your damn business, Tom.
I wonder if it's going to be another one of those things where Tom's like, "We talked to the producers, and you know this is technically allowed, but you're on my shit list."
Yeah,
invoking the producers is always a big thing.
Yeah, Tom loves to say thin ice.
Yeah,
thin ice.
You are skating on thin ice, and I've got a blowtorch following behind you. I can't wait to see you fall down.
Yeah. So that is the fantasy league standings. Brian is lying. Hit us with it.
I don't like this segment.
It's your segment.
That's another one. Truth.
Okay.
All right. A lie is that I hate that I like this segment.
Okay. Reeves, where are they now? Where's Sam up to?
Okay, Sam is not working at any restaurant. He was living in Brooklyn and did work in some Michelin star restaurants, but doesn't now. He does classes. So you can go on his website and he'll like customize a class for you. And from what I read, it seemed like you pick something from a menu, like you select you're going to do a class, you pick something from the menu, and then he's going to send you the ingredients and the equipment. Oh. And you like cook it with him.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess
that's not bad.
I think that's what he does. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do that.
Okay. Alex, why don't you plug again Super Art Fight that's coming up?
Super Art Fight, Audubon, Baltimore, April 8th. Be there.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on this episode, Alex. It was a blast.
Thanks for having me.
And until next time, we're going to pack our knives and go.